Good morning, everyone. How are y'all doing this morning? My name is Lynn, and I welcome you back to my channel. If you're a returning viewer, if you are new here, welcome to my crazy world. I'm kidding. It's not crazy. I enjoy a lot of different crafts, but mainly I focus on knitting and crochet. I I do homestead. I originally started this channel as a fiber arts and a homesteading channel, but I quickly found out that that wasn't the route I wanted to take. Now, I do hope my lighting is okay. I have a supplemental ring light over here, and I hope it's not showing too bad in my glasses, but it's very early, hence the name of my channel, Daybreak. This morning is a little earlier than usual because it is Saturday in my world. I know this isn't loading till Monday, but I have a lot of stuff that I have to get done. So this is the only time that I would be able to film before Monday, before the release on Monday. So bear with me. The lighting will get better as the sun tops the trees over there. And hopefully the ring light is not too distracting. So, I do have a yarn package that I need to open, but like I said, this is not going to become a yarn haul channel. But now, like I said in my other video, it's been for a while I was only working from my stash for a few reasons. But the biggest one is stash sizes are very individual to the people that have them. And for me, my yarn stash is, it's not too small to where I feel like I need to order all the time, but it's not so large that I feel overwhelmed or hoardy or any of the other adjectives that I've heard other content creators and other yarn fiber artists say that, you know, their stash is sable, which is surpasses all something life expectancy. Oh, less than above and beyond life expectancy or something. I can't remember. It's an acronym. It's SABLE. But anyway, lately I have been ordering a lot of cotton yarns to try to get my stock built up for my website. So that's been a lot. And I have gotten a couple things from a local yarn shop. And then also I have I have another indie dyer that I've ordered from, and yeah, we'll see that when it comes in. I have been dying. I ordered it 2.5 weeks ago. Um, UPS says they're expecting the shipment, but the label was created a week ago. So now the thing with indie dyers, and I'm hoping this is the case, so I'm not getting super duper impatient. I'm lying. I'm always impatient for yarn, right? But it's not a matter of trying to, basically I'm just trying not to get irritated because I don't know what this, and this is a very busy lady, so I'm trying not to be impatient. I'm trying. I'm not going to say I'm succeeding, but I'm trying. Okay, now this poor little beat up box is from Michaels. It is now this is the Yarn Cakes the anniversary cakes that everybody has been getting. And I wasn't going to get one because, hello, it's $40 for a cake. I wasn't going to pay that. But, and see, Michael's used to, all right, Michael's wants to make sure I don't get this thing. Michael's used to accept competitors' coupons. So I had a 50% off on a Joann's thing for a full price item that I was going to use for it. And then I went looking at their website, Michael's website, because like I said, it's been a minute. I don't have a Michael's close to me anymore. Well, they closed our local Michael's down, I want to say about 12 to 14 years ago. And we only had Hobby Lobby. Well, we're getting another Michael's. It should be, I think they said opening date was September 20th. So I won't have to go. I say I'd rather have a Joann's, but I don't know. I mean, yes, I shop at Joann's primarily, but it's because the Michael's in Augusta or the Michael's in Columbia. And neither one of them in this area, and maybe it's because we're in the South, I don't know, but neither one of them have a humongous, yarn collection that I want to buy stuff from. Now, that being said, I'm not going to order enough to get free shipping every time. Now, I did order this to get free shipping, but I waited since they don't take competitor coupons anymore. I waited, and then I can't remember. Somebody on my Facebook had said that Michael's had like a 35% off coupon, and so that took these anniversary cakes down to $25 a piece. And I said, okay, now I can do that. It's still more than I like to pay because it's 1,000 yards. But see, I don't use bulky. Whoa. Okay, I just seen a peek. And this is bulky. I'm going to use it because I bought it. I'm going to open this thing. And then I'll tell y'all about the cheesy Pete. Look at that box, man. I'm glad it wasn't raining. And this came UPS. Wow. Okay, these are some gigantic. Now, I wasn't going to do this because, like I said, I wasn't going to pay that kind of price for them. But I got them for $25 a piece. So I figured, why not? And it was free shipping because it was over $50. Because it was like $25.99 a piece. All right. So I got the rainbow one. Of course, you know I got the rainbow one. This thing is bigger than my head. Okay. I'm going to use it. Sorry. It's just had a weird smell. It might be the box. I don't know. But I can tell you right now, I'm not a fan of this. Maybe it's because I use so much fingering and it's fuzzy. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna try not to get prejudiced against this thing, but it's a lot bigger. I mean, that's huge. Out of all the people I've seen getting these, nobody has really put their. I've never seen just how bulky it is. So we'll see how that goes. I wanted the rainbow. Of course, I wanted rainbow because, I'm all about those rainbows. But, so this was the, I think it was primary colors, or what was this? Prismatic. Okay. So I got the prismatic. And then, see, there was two that I was going back and forth. All right. I wanted 3 different colorways. I wanted the prismatic, the blue, and then the purple. So I ended up getting the purple. The purple is called Hocus Crocus. Now, I think with the way this purple looks, I would have loved the blue as well. I'm glad I didn't get it, only because I don't know that I'm going to like this. Now, when I originally was looking at these anniversary cakes, I knew I wanted the prismatic because I was going to make me I was going to make a rainbow blanket. But y'all know that I'm working on that Battenberg blanket in cotton. So, well, actually, I could have like a summer, fall one with the cotton one, and then I could do this one for, I could do this one for winter. But anyway, so I think that'll work great if one ball is going to be enough. I don't know. I've never used a bulky weight of this caliber. This is a 6. I have tried to use Bernat blanket yarn. I'm not a big, huge fan of it. Okay, so I'm going to hold these up so y'all can see just how pretty they are. God dog. Let's see if I can get that. Aren't they pretty though? Okay, so I'm thinking 2 blankets, maybe. They're bigger than ah ah. They're bigger than my head. They're huge. I'm just like, do I like them enough? I don't know. I was so excited to get them, and they're super soft now. I don't like how fuzzy they are because I've told y'all about me making one of my sons the I think I don't know if that was a bulky 5 or bulky 6. It worked up pretty quick for a queen size. It ended up being a queen size blanket, but it was a Lion Brand Hometown. It was so super fuzzy, but I think it was Lion Brand Hometown USA. I think. I don't know. I haven't bought it since, and this was oops, I hit my microphone. Sorry. It was I want to say it was 2016. No, 2015. I can't remember. Anyway, it's been a minute. It's been at least 8 years. So I haven't looked at Lion Brand Hometown in all that time, so I don't know if it's improved. But it was very fuzzy. It was very sheddy. This has shed on me already. Not as bad as that Hometown. So I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that I don't experience that with that yarn. But aren't those colors amazing? Now, I'm hoping, I'm hoping that, oh, this is just a packing thing. It doesn't say. I thought it might have the, oh, yeah, no prices. I thought it was more of a receipt. I guess I had to print it off by my, off by my email. Okay. Now, I'm excited about that yarn. All yarn makes me excited. I'm a little hesitant to get overexcited about it. I do want to try to work up a swatch on it to see how I'm going to, how I'm going to like working with it. Like I said, I've done the Bernat blanket yarn I prefer to knit with that only because I can get a lot further quicker. With the crocheting, I crochet the blanket yarn too tight. And I know I've went up on needle sizes, I mean hook sizes, and it's still tight. So I don't know. I want to play with it. I have other things going on, so I can't play with it yet. But the yarn that I'm waiting for from Hobbii it won't come in for me to finish that Battenberg blanket. It won't come in until October. So we're now at the beginning of September, which today is August 31st. Of course, I told y'all I'm filming this on Saturday, but by the time you see this, it'll be September 2nd, Monday. So I won't have too long to wait, but maybe while I'm waiting on that cotton to come back in stock, I can see what this prismatic's going to look like. Or, yeah, I think I'm going to try a prismatic first. So now I'm going to show y'all something that I have completed. And it is a lovely Hexie cardigan. I can't wear this. I didn't make it for me. I picked a size. I made it to make it because I had yet to do a hexagon cardigan. Sorry. But I love what I did. Okay. So originally, and I don't have a mannequin, I'm sorry. I'm such a bad channel host. I don't have a mannequin to model it for you. But I wanted to see my niece and see, if I could get her to model it for me, but I'm going to try to show you. Okay. All right. So it's the base of it is a plain hexie cardigan. And I knew the principle of the hexicardi, but I had never made one. So I looked at a pattern on Hobbii, and I looked at how much yardage I had, because this one right here was, I have the label right here, matter of fact. Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek DK. It's a low peel fiber. It is 100% low peel acrylic, and it has 478 yards per ball. Now, this was one I got from Hobby Lobby years ago on one of their clearances, and wasn't clearance that much, let me tell you. But anyway, they still have it, just not in these like stone-washed denim-y colors. They only have solids now. But that being said, I looked for a size that would work with the yardage I had. I had 3 balls. It was about 1,200. Yeah, about 1,200 yards. So I didn't want it all in one color. And I thought, okay, I could do great with it. And so I have like this greeny. This is actually, to me, kind of more like an aqua color, and then the gray, and then I have a green color this has more of the tealy look to it, but the other one is more of a green, and then I have black, and then I have like a dark blue, almost a navy denim color. So these two are the best color combination. These two were the best as far as a color combination. So I'm trying to, I don't know if you can see it in its entirety. I'm going to try to scroll up here, or scroll up. Oh, yeah, I'm rocking and rolling this morning, I tell you. But I only used I only looked at the Hobie pattern for yardage recommendations and just kind of the base idea of how to get started and how to format the cardigan. And that's about all I did from their pattern. I used their measurements for those sizes because it was for a DK weight. I think it was for their Horizon. But I had the idea of doing granny squares at the bottom. Uh-oh, I just lost that light. Hold on. Unless my give me 1 second, y'all. Sorry about this. Okay. I don't know. I'm using a ring light plugged into my USB on my laptop. So I do have one of those multiple USB blocks coming because what the heck, man? I'm so used to things that plug into a wall. And I'm about to show my age because I'm used to being able to just plug something in the wall and being done with it. But 90% of everything now is USB plugs. I don't know. So I have a plug over here behind me, but well, behind this bookcase right here that I can't really access. So I had a power strip back there that I put right here on top of it to where I could plug everything in. And my son needed it for something I can't even remember. But anyway, I gave that up. So back to the cardigan. Like I said, I used the Hobie for that little bit, and then I thought the design I had in my head originally for a hexie cardigan was the granny squares on the bottom because I thought that would be cute. And then I was like, well, you know what? If I do a cardigan with with granny squares on the bottom, I want them on the sleeves as well to just kind of have a better accent. So I told y'all when I first started crocheting and whatnot, I didn't go by patterns. I self drafted. So that's kind of what I did here. Now, I will admit, you see these? Now, it is a typical hexie cardigan to where the sleeves are a little bigger, but I didn't go the full sleeve like you would in a typical hexie cardi. I stopped a little before that, and because I knew I was going to grow the length of the cardigan with the granny squares. So I wasn't worried about that as far as this down here because I knew I would have length. I just didn't want super puffy sleeves. Now, I did get a little puffy when you account for the granny squares. But my granny squares were coming out about 4 inches, a little over 4 inches. I mean, we're talking maybe a 16th of an inch over. Not a whole lot, but it matters when you start to decrease on your sleeves. Now, I will admit that I, I did go to do knitting ribbing on my cuffs. What I didn't account for was the stretch was not going to happen with these few, and I probably could have decreased less, but I wanted to be able to give you or give whoever the person is that's going to get this, give them a good cuff. My brain just totally left me on that one, but I wanted to give the a good, decent cuff. I didn't want it super big. So, thinking that, I was like, okay. I tried it with my knitting, tried to do the ribbed knitting, and I wasn't crazy about it because it made it, after, even before bind off, it made it very snug on my wrist. And I wear a size large shirt because I like bigger things. But I've always, even at my heaviest weight, I've always had teeny tiny wrist. Bigger hands, but teeny tiny wrist. Now, for it to be tight on my wrist, I knew that as a medium, it was going to be just as tight or tighter on somebody else, because none of us are made the same. So I decided, okay, you know what? I'll do front post, back post, and crochet to mimic the ribbing. This is the first time I've ever done that, and this I did refer back to the Hobie pattern because I've always shied away from this kind of ribbing because I wasn't being snobby against one art over the other, but to me, I was used to a knitted ribbing, so I never thought these looked right. Now, I can say that these fit this cardigan perfectly, so I'm glad I did it. And it gives me the stretch that I need to be able, I could put my big old hand in this, watch. Now, I'm not going to wear the cardigan. I can. Um, the sleeves are way too short for me. But see how nice that ribbing looks, that cuff? I love that. And it's the perfect size. Now, the decreases do make this kind of like a balloony, not quite huge balloon, but a little bit of a balloony sleeve. And the next cardigan I make, because I'm going to do another hexie cardi, I'll show y'all that. I haven't started it yet because I still want to get the yarn for it, but I think what I'll do, because I had to make these match the sleeve, the dimensions. So I was kind of limited on what I could do and what I couldn't do as far as size. And I wanted these squares to match the bottom squares as far as size. But you know, I don't think I have to do that. So on the next cardigan, I might play around with that a little bit. But I'm really excited. I love how I'm very pleased with how it came out. And I did. Now, the next one might not be a DK weight. I might do that in a 4-weight. I loved working with this. I have tried so many different ways to use this yarn, and I've not been happy with any of them. I've knit with it, I've crocheted with it. I've Okay, so on the knitting, I was doing the harvest cardigan from Tin Can Knits. That's the one I put in timeout because I told y'all I wasn't liking how it came out. And see, I think a large part of that, because I've done the harvest cardigan, and I loved how it came out. So I think the fact that I didn't like this particular cardigan that I was knitting up, I think it's because of that yarn. But it's perfect. Now, I did use a 5 millimeter, and I know you would think that that would make way too big a fabric, but I'm showing you. I want you to see. It didn't make it super big. The stitch definition is really perfect with that DK weight yarn and a 5 millimeter hook. I didn't think it would be. I thought it would be too loopy and too just. I can't think of the word. Yeah, I just thought it would look messy, but it came out beautiful. So I may make another one, another hexie cardigan, or I don't know. The colors that I have aren't really conductive to anything for a baby. So unless I use the other green. But I have black and then a dark navy blue. So I could do like a granny. No, I'm not a huge fan of granny squares in the typical granny stitch pattern. Now, I can do a solid granny and I love that to death. But this Hexicardi might be changing my mind as far as the granny stitch. Now, those granny stitch bandanas that I make, those were what opened me up to doing this because I really liked how those came out. And I think it might be the size of the granny stitch because it's nothing humongous. And when I think granny stitch, I think big blocks of 3 double crochets that, they're pretty significant. Because that's primarily the granny stitches and granny stitch blankets I've seen. But this proves that you can go smaller. My bandanas prove that you can go smaller. So I think I'm gonna give that a shot, and try to do another cardigan. Maybe not with the granny squares. I might do, what would look really cute? Like, now, the only reason why I went looking for this Hexicardi is because I wanted a cardigan with granny squares on the bottom. And the Hexicardi fit the bill. Because that way I didn't have to do any calculations for, setting the sleeves in or anything like that. It was, let me tell you, if you want to try to do a wearable, the Hexicardi is the easiest to do because you don't have, the only thing you have to know is, sorry, I think my daughter-in-law just texted me, but the only thing you have to do is know basically the bust, how long you want it, and the arm dimensions. Now, you can alter a hexi cardigan in any way you need to. And if y'all, I don't know that I could do a tutorial, but there's plenty of hexicardis out there. But if you needed some advice on how to alter any hexicardi that you get, just reach out to me, let me know, and I can help you because it's the most flexible pattern that you could get. And yes, it is a granny stitch, but it's not a granny square. The sheer construction of it guarantees that you can fold it and you have half of a half of a cardigan, How easy can you get? So I think what I'm going to do is with those other colors, I can do the main body of the cardi in one color, and instead of doing the granny squares on the bottom, I can just do rows. Do you remember? I think it was back in 50s or 60s, maybe the 60s. They had like the stripes on the end of the cardigans. The males or females wore them. I think it was mostly the males, like the Letterman. You know how in the 80s and 90s we had the Letterman jackets, but before that they had the cardigans, and the guys had the letter on their chest and then either stripes on their wrist or stripes on the bottom of the cardigan. But I could do that. That would look good. And yes, it would still be in the granny stitch, but you could just do the stripes in rows to add a little bit of contrast of the color. I think I'm gonna do that. But the other cardigan, the other one that I have planned in the 4-weight yarn, that comes first. So I have run my mouth a lot today. I'm sorry. um, I do. I do want to do So I'm going to do the 4-weight cardigan first. Now I'm still making, well, I had to put making stuff for my website on hold because guess what? I got it going. So I got my website up, and I will link that down below if y'all want to take a look at it. Now, I'm super excited to get it going because I would love to get a lot of this stuff that I've made gone. Now, I don't have any of my baby blankets, any of my uh, Afghans or throws or anything like that on it yet. We had some trees taken down, so I wanted to make sure that it wouldn't interfere with any of the photography that I wanted to do for my blankets. So those aren't up there yet. But, you know, my bandanas, my market bags, hot pads, those kind of things, those are up there. And I'm super excited. Now, I will, before, you know, I will have probably like a grand opening type code, to a coupon code, discount code to go. I have to figure out, I'm still learning the ups and downs of this. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to do that. And if I can apply it to certain people or if I can do it just as a general thing. I don't know yet. I'm still learning. But go check it out. Tell me what you think. If you have any recommendations, I will take them. I will hear them. I may not take it every recommendation or every idea, but you know, if there's something that you would like to see me do on the channel or like to see me make for the website, throw it at me. I'm always game for new ideas that way. Uh, you know, I'd love to hear your opinions, good or bad. You know, don't be ugly about it, but it can it can be a bad opinion delivered tactfully. I, I'm blunt, and I have had to learn over the years that you can be honest and you can be blunt, but you can also have tact. Unfortunately, that's missing with a lot of people these days, especially on the internet. Now, nobody's ever been ugly to me. Oops, sorry. Nobody's ever been ugly to me on here. On YouTube, I've had people be ugly to me in other areas of social media. And I know that comes from a certain level of comfort for them because they're not sitting here telling me face to face. Somebody can type something really easy and find it very hard to look at someone face to face and say it. 99% of what I type, I am willing to say to a person's face. So I make sure that I can deliver what I need to say tactfully. That's an art that it took a while for me to get down. I will tell you that. There was one thing I wanted to tell y'all, and I didn't write it down. Sorry, you know that's my morning has been going crazy. I oh, what was it? I don't remember. I guess it wasn't too super important. I am making. All right. So normally I don't show whips like this, but my daughter-in-law seen this YouTube video, and she's seen an idea on Pinterest. She loves Pinterest, and she's like, Taylor would love this. And Taylor's my niece, the one that I said that I could maybe get to model that. And it was a cute little corset. And remember, my niece is at 27 years old. She's like this big. She's teeny tiny. So it's a corset. Now, I will show you the cups, okay? And it has a boning type corset, a boning look type corset to it. And I'm working on it now. It's a free YouTube tutorial, okay? But it's in Arabic. So I don't understand what she's saying, but she does have English captions on the bottom. So what I went through, I watched the whole video and wrote down the directions. And I'm getting the gist of it mostly, but she used a reference of a 2 millimeter yarn with a 2.5 millimeter hook. And which she used cotton. She called it milk cotton, but that doesn't always mean cotton in other language. So I used Lily Sugar and Cream because it's this color, and my niece loved that color. So, well, it's some kind of bright green in the video, but anyway, I got Lily Sugar and Cream in this hot green, and I'm using a 3 millimeter hook. Now it is making for a very firm, dense fabric, which you want with a corset or anything with, breast in them. And so you get the support. But it is so difficult to work with a 4-weight yarn and a 3 millimeter hook. It's my hands are killing me after working on this. I'm almost done with the corset, the body portion, and then I will sew these in to it. And I'll show y'all that. Good, bad, or ugly, I will show it to you. I don't like how my gauge is normally pretty on point, but with this, and it might be because it's so tight and my hands just hate it, but some of the chaining part doesn't look even. And it's probably because of the fact that I'm trying to duplicate what she did with a different yarn and different hook, because while hers was tight, it wasn't this tight. And I did a tutorial on my last video, and you can click on, at the end of this video, I'll have it. It'll be in, on the screen. But I did a single crochet can koozie tutorial. And I don't mind that because I used, I think, a 4.5 or a 5 millimeter hook. I can't remember. Because I didn't need it to support breast. I just needed it to keep the condensation off my hands and off my wooden table, wooden desk, wooden side table beside my recliner. But with that, it's a much smaller hook, and I don't know. Like I told my daughter-in-law, we took my grandson to the library yesterday, and we were watching him play on the playground, and I was working on it, and I said, I'm not a big fan of this. Now, maybe once I get it finished and lay it out, and I think I'm going to spray it. I'm not going to fully wet it because I don't want to stretch it because she's a size small. And I think this is going to be too big for her anyway because it is a bigger hook and bigger yarn. What is a 2 millimeter yarn? Y'all tell me that. Please leave that in the comments because I have researched everywhere on the web and nobody's really telling me what a 2 millimeter yarn is. At first I thought it was a DK. And I do have supposedly DK yarn from Premier with those denim yarns, the Himalaya denim. So I could try that. But of course I didn't get one in this green that she wants. So I will show y'all that when I'm finished. I'll quit talking about it for now. For now, I have to get off here. I've been yapping long enough, and I have some green beans that are waiting on me to can them. My second batch already. And as soon as it started getting cool, I mean, my green beans took off. I thought the summer heat, when we were up in, triple digits, I thought that it killed them. But last week, not this past week, but the week prior, and in a couple, maybe a week and a half or so, we had 80-degree weather, 85, you know, with in the 55s at night. So my green beans just went whoosh and took off. I'm not complaining because there's nothing better than fresh roasted green beans in the oven. Oh, they're so good. They're so good. Pair them with some herb roasted potatoes on the pan too. Mwah. Anyway, I'm gonna get going and get the cannon done. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and make this video because it is Labor Day weekend, yes, but it's busy work wise for me. So I hope y'all have a great one. I will see you next time. Bye bye.